Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5
best 4-slice toasters.
Starting at number 5.
Cuisinart 4-slice compact plastic toaster. The Cuisinart 4-slice compact plastic toaster is a budget-friendly toaster that's on the small side for a 4-slot toaster. It's equipped with bagel, frozen, and reheat functions. Its slots aren't very deep when pushed down, so if your bread is much taller than white sandwich bread, it may stick out the top. On the plus side, they lift up high enough to grab even very small pieces without burning yourself. The Cuisinart 4-slice toaster has a good toasting performance. It can produce a good range of results and does a good job of toasting the bread evenly. The highest setting doesn't quite char white sandwich bread, meaning you'll have to run an extra cycle if you're toasting something that takes longer to brown, like dense rye or multigrain bread. It also tends to produce darker bread on the second batch compared to the first, so you might have to lower the setting on the dial after the first batch.
Coming at number 4.
Smeg 4-slice toaster. Consider a long slot toaster like the Smeg 4-slice toaster if you want maximum versatility. This high-end toaster has 2 slots that can each fit a couple of slices of sandwich bread side by side, so it has the same capacity as 4-slot toasters but can also accommodate longer slices of homemade or bakery bread. The slots are particularly deep, so taller slices won't stick out the top. It performs similarly regardless of where you place the bread and doesn't start burning your toast after a few batches. It has settings for bagels and frozen items and a reheat function for warming up cold toast or adding some time to the end of a cycle. It has a good toasting range, so it can make anything from lightly toasted to dark brown toast from white sandwich bread in one cycle. However, anything that takes longer to toast, like denser pieces of bread or bagels, may need more than one cycle to get properly browned. It doesn't have cycle countdown indicators, which is disappointing for such an expensive toaster. While it has a glossy, retro style to match the price tag, if you don't want to spend the money for a high-end toaster, the Cuisinart long slot toaster is a good option. It's much cheaper and performs similarly, but you must manually raise the lever to grab even normal-sized toast without burning your fingers, which is annoying. Its slots are quite shallow when pushed down, so taller slices can stick out the top.
At number 3.
Black+Decker 4-slice toaster TR4900 SSD. The Black+Decker 4-slice toaster TR4900 SSD is the best budget 4-slice toaster we've tested. Unlike the previous picks, this toaster has no modes other than the standard ones for bagels and frozen items like waffles. It lacks cycle countdown indicators, so there's no way of knowing how much time remains in a toasting cycle. However, it's still made of metal rather than plastic and has a better toasting range than the beautiful 4-slice toaster with touch-activated display. The presets can produce anything from lightly toasted to charred sandwich bread in a single cycle. You won't have to run an extra cycle to toast denser breads properly. Unlike the previous pick, it has dials that let you make small adjustments to the shade setting, so you're not limited to 7 settings. It tends to toast the inner face more than the outer face, but otherwise, it toasts bread very evenly, with each slot performing similarly. You might need to adjust the dial after the first batch to get consistent results since it tends to compensate for the machine heating up and make lighter toast after the first batch.
Number 2 of my list.
Beautiful 4-slice toaster with touch-activated display. If you want a cheaper option with some premium touches, you might prefer the beautiful 4-slice toaster with touch-activated display. This toaster from Drew Barrymore's kitchenware brand Beautiful by Drew has a sleek, modern look, with touch-activated buttons that light up when the toaster is on. Unlike the Breville Diecast 4-slice smart toaster, it comes in several colors to suit your preferences. Its slots are also similarly wide and deep, so it suits thicker and taller slices. It's better at evenly browning the bread in every slot and on both sides of the bread. It's also more consistent batch after batch. Aside from the more typical bagel and frozen settings, it has a gluten-free setting, which adds a bit of time to the end of a toasting cycle to help brown denser bread. However, unlike the Breville, it only has 7 distinct shade settings. You can't set the dial between two settings to fine-tune the cycle length. Unfortunately, none of the shade settings produces golden brown sandwich bread, so if that's what you want, you'll have to add time to the end of a lower setting or cancel a higher setting early. On the plus side, it includes cycle countdown indicators to tell how much time is left before your toast pops up.
And number 1.
Breville Diecast 4-Slice Smart Toaster. The best 4-slice toaster we've tested is the Breville Diecast 4-Slice Smart Toaster. This high-end toaster has an aluminum body and a sturdy feel overall. Its 4 slots are wide enough for chunkier items like bagels or thickly sliced bread and deep enough that taller slices won't stick out the top of the toaster. It has an incredible toasting range, making anything from barely toasted to charred sandwich bread in a single cycle. Denser bread that takes longer to cook, like multigrain or rye, shouldn't need more than 1 cycle to get properly browned. It toasts bread decently evenly, but unfortunately, some slots produce somewhat darker toast than others. It produces darker toast on the second batch than the first, so you must adjust the setting for consistent results. The extra features set it apart from some cheaper options. Unlike many toasters, it has cycle countdown indicators so you can tell when your toast will be ready. You can use lift and look to lift the slots and check on your toast without interrupting the toasting cycle, and the bit more button to add some time to the end of a cycle. Unlike most toasters, it has buttons to lift and raise the slots instead of levers.
Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.